What's up, everybody? I am Sniggenhoff, and we are back today playing Tyranny. Now, it's been a few days since I played last, so give me just a second to reacquaint myself with everything that's going on. We have the Trial of the Archons. We need to go speak with Graven Ash and the Voices of Narat. I think that we're probably going to go do that next. Dissonance of War, travel to Cacophony, stirring visions, investigate the spires. Wonderful. So we're probably going to go to Cacophony next, and I think I got something in the last episode, these momentum gauntlets, which give multi-strike on weapon crit, damage 6 to 9 pierce versus parry, and those are probably better than the gloves I'm wearing, so let's go ahead and slap those babies on. And I got this potion of heroes for logging in with my account, but I'm not going to keep it, I believe. Can I move all this stuff down to the party stash? Nope. Trying to see if right-clicking on it would quick move it. I do need to clear out my stash a little bit. Oh. Okay. Did I equip you with stuff? You can have a helmet. Head wrap. That's heavy armor. 1% plus 2, 1% plus 2. Okay. I like the hood on him. Okay. Let's get a move on. Ah, we're behind the Fatebinder. Not the Fatebinder. I'm the Fatebinder. We're behind the Archon. Man, what did we even do in the last episode? We came here to this court, and we talked to the Archon of Justice, told him all the stuff that went down at Vendrian's Well. And then he was all like, go investigate people. Ooh, who's this? Blade and Mark. Welcome back, kid. As amusing as it would have been to watch the edict drop, I guess I'm glad you lived. Blade and Mark, Archon of Shadows, rouses from a faraway stare, turning to face you with a wry smile. Though he stands still, he seems to sift in and out of the shadows that shroud him. I've gained wrath with him and lost favor with him. Sided with Scarlet Horse, huh? You like secrets and trickery. Archon gives you a long stare. Yeah. Favor with Tunon, favor with Blade and Mark. It's not surprising that he'd be cautious. Ash's Legion has warred without reinforcements for years, and like the Voices, when his soldiers die, his army dwindles. I imagine you're off to meet with the Voices for, well, whatever he has in mind. But first, you and I need to have a little chat. Listening. Everyone's keeping an eye on you because you did something no one has done before. Got a guess as to what that might be? Probably the first to resolve an edict before its consequences come to pass. Gain favor. Close but not quite. It's rare, but it's not the first time that Kairos has issued an edict primarily as a threat, providing the target sufficient time and motivation to comply in order to avoid the edict's punishing effects. Proclaiming an edict isn't new, neither is surviving or resolving the commandments of an edict, but you're the first one to proclaim and resolve the very same edict, and it didn't kill you. In one fell swoop, you survived your second edict, resolved the very one you had proclaimed, and woke an arcane structure that slept for several centuries. Why should I care about anything of this? Kairos only knows if you should, but others will hear of what you've done and they'll assume it's important. They could come to see you as a rival for the Overlord's attention and seek to remedy the problem of your rising significance. I don't care what you do with the information, but you should know the danger you're in now that you've put yourself on the map. When you're dealing with the Voices, don't forget that he'll be doing everything he can to figure out what makes you different and how he can use it for his own gain. Thanks for the advice. More favor with him. Archon of Shadows shrugs to you in farewell, but his golden eyes alight with interest as he watches you. Another Archon. So we've met the Archon of War, the Archon of Secrets, the Archon of Justice, the Archon of Song, and the Archon of Shadows now. Okay, so the two places we can go right now are either to Cacophony or to the Sunset Spire. I'm going to go to the Sunset Spire after I go to Cacophony, I think. So let's take the 5 days and 12 hours it'll take to get there. I know I said it in another video, but I really like the day-night effects on this map. I just think that's really cool. That is interesting. I didn't know that. Hold shift to issue multiple commands to a party member. That's something I probably would have known had I read the tutorials, but I didn't do that, so yeah. Look at that. Little tips, giving useful tips. Okay, a little bit of earthquaking going on there.
Right.
Let's go see what the Scarlet Chorus has to offer. Welcome to Cacophony, Fatebinder. Nerat said to be expecting you. What can you tell me about Cacophony? It's the main stronghold of the Scarlet Chorus and the Tears. All chorus groups have some of their people here. Hordes, Scarlet Furies, Blood Chanters, Bloodhound, and even the Beastmen. Everybody's got their own section of camp. Better that way. Keeps the brawling to a minimum. We've got a merchant here if you need to buy anything. There's also a quartermaster, but Nerat's got to give him the say before you're allowed to get your hands on chorus goods. Where can I find him? Northeast corner of the camp, near the only real buildings left. If he's not on his throne, he's wandering not too far from it. Do I want to explore first before I go see him? Well, let's definitely loot the stuff on our way to people. Splinter. Overlord's blessings to you, Fatebinder, regards, and so on and so forth. Might there be something you can help me with for the right price? Heard any rumors lately? Nothing new, only the usual happenstance, so-and-so killing so-and-so in their sleep, and it goes over the gang. Leaders from throughout the tiers are entering you-know-whose tent and never stepping out again. The voices doesn't even leave a body. How do you think he does that? No, on second thought, I surely don't want to know. And you did not hear such a whisper from me. Heard some of his victims end up on spikes. Sometimes something shows up on spikes near the voice's tent, but whatever it is, you can't exactly call it a body anymore. Get me? What were you up to during the war? Trying to stay alive? Trying to shed a little blood? Make a few rings. Where can you point me? I might have heard wind regarding a squad of disfavored that are giving the Bronze Brotherhood a go of it near Lethian's Crossing. Could be some rings in it for you. There's certainly some fingers to be had. I'll consider the information. Have a story behind your name? Well, I woke up with a sharp pain shooting at my backside one night, and are you sure you want to hear the rest of us? Sure. I guess it was a piece of a chair, as long as it, at least as long as my forearm. My mate, Abscess, had whittled it up for weeks to stab it in my spine. Only it didn't kill me, though. Just give me this dang limp. I wouldn't say it was a shoddy weapon. It ended her good and dead when I struck her in the throat. Okay. Well, that's a fun little story. Fun little backstory there. Camping supplies, potions, wonderful. Fatebinder, a moment of your time, if you will. Just what we need, a Fatebinder of the courts. Look, I understand my rank, but I can't just bite my tongue when boss man Dirge thinks he can get away with a crime of such proportions without bribing me first. Frig you, Rathrot. As if you'd settle for a rent rump and a fistful of rings. Admit it, the price you want's my head, so you can stand atop our little crew. I'll go with what crime is being charged. A capital one, Fatebinder, as I saw it with my own eyes. 3 nights back, boss man snuck into and out of the old walls, running Wisdom Rise. You shitface. Think you can steal the throne when you've you're breathing around my blade in your chest? Or maybe it's your crafty forked tongue I should carve out first. Man, I'm having trouble today. Like, I'd be dumb enough to risk my entrails scurrying about some fusty ruins. I don't know why they're forbidden. Scouring the old walls is just asking to incite Kairos' wrath. And I've got no death wish, either from the Bane within, nor Kairos above, nor Fatebinder Tunon before me. False accusation is a crime. What proof do you have? Proof? Like what? It's not like I followed him into the old walls so I could properly document his transgressions. I saw him go in and out, chasing that sage. Which sage? That ought to be evidence enough. If it's solid evidence you need, go check where the sage's body lies. Sage in the old walls? What sage? Want to tell the Fatebinder, or should I? The thing is, me and Wrath have been chasing a sage clear from Lethians. I guess she figured she wasn't going to slip us, so she made a beeline for this breach in the old walls. I know the law, so I wasn't about to follow her in. But I'd also be loath to let an enemy of the Overlord slither free, so I cornered her before she could make it past the breach. This asshole here's the one who let her slit her damn throat as I held her down. Now he's saying he watched me waltz right into the old walls without him. Oh, come on, Fatebinder, are you gonna believe that? I called you over here. I'm telling you what happened. Don't let him weasel out of a proper sentence. Why are you so eager for me to sentence him? Eager? I mean, I'm just thinking on account of Dirge being a true criminal under Kairos laws. He isn't really fit to lead the gang no more. Somebody like me ought to be running things. You see, Fatebinder, all he has is his scheming and lies. He knows he'll lose if he challenges me outright, so he thought he'd accuse me of a crime even the voices couldn't dismiss. Ha! Oh, that's glorious! Can't wait to see the showing. I'll make sure the whole gang's there to watch, up close and personal. No, wait, you can't. This hasn't turned out right at all. Fatebinder, please have mercy. It was a misunderstanding. You see. That's how you do it. Leave them guessing. I'll wager. Oh, this is verse. I'd wager the next one to seek out your justice might think twice about it. All the better for us. Maybe I wasn't really trying to make people think twice about my justice. I was just trying to get rid of that guy. He was being annoying. I'm really wondering. Oh, it might be an edict. Is there an edict here? Can we see the Edict of Stone? In the last year of Kairos conquest, when the Archon Caird rebelled against the Overlord's rule, an edict was proclaimed upon the realm of Azure. To preserve our peace, the promise of safety to all our citizens, all Archons must submit to our will. Any Archon who refuses proper submission must be brought to justice. Therefore, let the foundations of Azure be shattered, and life drained from the land while the traitor Card draws breath. So yeah, that's why it's shaking.
Will do.
Vex. Not allowed to sell you anything. Okay, so he's the quartermaster guy. Ooh, what's this? Blood-soaked mantle and it's exquisite. Gives frenzy. Minus 15 recovery time while has wounds. That might be really good on Verse. What is Verse wearing right now? She's got regenerating and parrying. Well, it doesn't do her any good right now because no, she doesn't have a wound. But possibly later on when she gets wounded, and she will probably get wounded. She's good at that. Can equip that on her. This is the Beastman camp. Beastwoman, 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 Beastman. Oh, it's just the Beastman pen. I don't know if I can like talk and interact with any of these guys. No, it doesn't look like it. So let's move on. And a fine bronze guitar. What kind of weapon is it? I mean, it looks like it's under this just tree one-handed weapons. Okay. We need the bodies, you mewling pissers. Unlike you cockered pignuts, these conscripts can survive a battle. Sickle notch. So they say to save their necks. But what's the goods? The word of oathbreakers and cowards. I need to slow down. What's going on here? Fatebinder. Yes, Fatebinder. Good of you to come along. You just saved this Fury's neck. I find that unlikely. Scarlet Furies don't surrender their necks to anyone without a fight. Your guts would have pooled around you before that happened. A damn slew of Oathbreakers came crawling to us less than a fortnight ago. So we trust the lot up like beastmen for roast. Why should we welcome liars and defectors to guard our backs? Come now, Fatebinder, you're a clever sort. Tell us your thoughts. We ought to throw them in the pit. Let the lone survivor join us. This is the way of the chorus, right, boss? The pit serves for merriment and to weed out fen-sucked weaklings like you. In that case, it would be but a waste of resources. These are part of the splinter that held off the disfavored Advendrians well for many months. We should integrate them into my unit of Furies. You sure you want me to weigh in? It'll be as an official. I'll be sated just to have the squabbling done with. But we can't win a war with only fish snakes, shatterns, and a sea of blood. We need skilled fighters to wield our blades. The Scarlet Chorus doesn't lack for meat to throw at the enemy, but it is always in need of experience. If you ask me, those with training should go to the Scarlet Furies. Anything else will be a waste of talent. We might be made of tearsmen, but we're loyal to Kairos. The chorus ain't an open call to any turncoat who's got a sharpened weapon and a decent pair of boots. Toss them in the pit, boss, and I'll donate a share of the proceeds to you. We're gonna say they go to the Furies. Gain favor with the Scarlet Chorus. I'll see them assigned to a suicide mission at once. If the Henpeckers can survive that, then they'll be worthy to serve my Furies. A cruel fate for those who once defied the Chorus, but at least you're offering them another chance to live. Let's hope they make the most of your mercy.
On it.
Every time the camera shakes like that, I would think something's about to happen. Bloodhound Camp. These guys probably don't have anything interesting to say. This is the Scarlet Fury Camp. Some water. A fine piece of leather armor. Hello. Hello. Oh, now I look stupid. Actually, okay, now that I see it for a second, I don't hate it. Equip that. And so let's go talk to the voices.
Can't do that. Sorry, can't.
Right after we, loot this barrel. A mug of mead.
I'd say that's worth a second glance.
The voices of Narat regards you with an unreadable expression. Yeah, because he's got a metal face. Fatebinder, it seems a lifetime ago that we bandied words with the Archon of Greybeards in the war tent. We were so pleased to see you return to our fold. As if proclaiming and resolving the same edict weren't impressive enough, you found the temetry to reject Graven Ash and support our right to conquer these lands. You deserve a just reward when this is over, but it's too early to congratulate ourselves while there's plenty of war still to fight. What do you need now? We're dizzy with it. What do you need to know? We're dizzy with answers. Why don't you tell me something about yourself? Why, we're honored that you would ask. Sometimes, when we close our eyes, we see a vast, dry plain occupied by a man who walks in circles, circles that grow tighter with each revolution. But we suspect that isn't what you want to know. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. You want more? Well, we're happy to indulge. We once challenged the Archon of Winds to a foot race. We won by planting a lackey at the finish line beforehand, wearing a believable replica of our mask. We got to call her the Archon of Gullibility for a decade. It was like we always said. If the Beastman tribes recognized a quarter of their potential, they could devastate Kairos' forces. Keep listening. Tudon's gavel is only as powerful as his lawful right to wield it. Think about that. Does it muddle your senses to imagine how... But have you plumbed the ocean's depths or peered into the spaces between the stars? If people saw the world through our eyes, they wouldn't call us mad. We once dropped the seventh eye down a crevasse just to see what was at the bottom. We were surprised to find. The Archon talks at great length, leading you down a labyrinth of rhetoric at once alien and fascinating, sensible and mad. While the voices could sway the masses, you get the impression that he is just as accustomed to jabbering with himself in isolation. You leave the experience in numb disbelief, wondering what you've taken away from the exchange. That was incredible. Okay, gained favor with him. So what's your plan? Of course, if you have questions, we'd be disappointed if you didn't have any. Our first priority is to humiliate that piss bucket, Graven Ash, but we'll have a better chance of it once every corner of the tiers is wearing red. Do you see our design, Fatebinder? Does our madness complement our method? We will invite every man, woman, or child who draws breath and occupies this fingernail of a peninsula to join the Scarlet Chorus. can't fight them out, recruit them. Ooh, gained wrath. Insult our strength at your peril, good Fateminder. We could dismantle the disfavored if we wanted to at any moment, but we must not be distracted by bloodshed. We must focus on unification. Conquest is a delicate matter. It needs feeding, watering, soft caresses, a lullaby before bed. We will invite the leaders of the resistance to join us. If we have their leaders, the people will follow. You will bring them to us, yes? The chiefs and the assets of chiefdom? As for how you factor into these plans, that is in part up to you. We have many ignots in the fire. Or ingots. Probably ingots. It is more a question of what piques your interests. The Blade Grave is a beautiful pocket of disorder. An edict shreds the land to ribbons, and soldiers by the hundreds are led into the furnace of war. Angry sons of old Stalwart, dubbing themselves Unbroken, clash spears with the disfavored. We can use the edict and the conflict to our benefit. They keep the disfavored occupied, and the tears within our grasp. While these idiot juggernauts bash against each other into ruin, we can extract what we need. The daughter of Graven Ash has been a prisoner to these stalwart wretches. Secure her for us and fetch her to the cacophony straight away. Inviting Ash's progeny into the fold is an advantage we cannot ignore. Seek out also Jagged Remedy in Trapper's Junction. He has cornered a beleaguered unit of Unbroken. Help him recruit their leader, Matthias, into the fold. That might help us reach the Jewel of the Realm, the great keep of Sentinel's Stand. A document of great power, the Silent Archive, rests in the burning library. The archive is said to hold many secrets, any of which we can twist to our advantage. One of our gang bosses, the Censor, seeks the entrance to this queenly treasure. Aid her in the search and dispatch her back to us with any findings. Report back to us when you're finished. What can you tell me about the Blade Grave? For our conquest, it was the region of Stalwart, warlike and fiercely independent in character. The regent bloodline ruled by the torrid and often inbred lines of succession. Of course, the Edict of Storms has thrown all of that into disorder. Who rules the area now? A complex question with no clear answer. The Unbroken Legion, a rabble group of veterans from the Stalwart army, struggled to maintain hold by force of arms. Behind the walls of Sentinel's Stand, the last of the regions lives out his days, no doubt thinking himself as strong and relevant as ever. A severe and uncompromising as her idiot father. We would liken her to a tower shield with a voice like a ram's horn, warped out of tune. We met the girl once and we nearly came to blows. If war and the passage of years have softened her temper, then we should be able to get along magnificently when you present her at Cacophony. About the Edict of Storms. Swirling maelstroms now blast the land, and Sentinel Stand, the fortified heart of the Blade Grave, is both trapped and imprisoned by Kairos' edict. The cowardly regent who survived the war hides there to this day, protected and imprisoned by Kairos' anger. Only by piercing the unforgiving fabric of that storm can anyone reach the heart and drive a blade through its core. Let me ask you about something else. See if there's anything else I can learn. A repository of books engulfed in the flame of Kairos' edict, yet the pages refuse to burn. The sages cast protective magic over the ancient archive. Books by the thousand lay bare for the reading, but forbidden and hot to the touch. Then there's the greatest treasure of all, the silent archive, an intelligent, living text. The archive is safeguarded in the lowest depths of the library, locked away from undeserving eyes. Our censor, dispatched to the library, seeks the archive as we speak. Who is your censor? Must you bore us with your incessant ponderings? Go speak with our lackey, Seven Toes. She can weather the relentless assault of your curiosity. Okay, looks like we're done talking. Addendum added. Trial of Archons. Speak with Seven Toes about where you'll go next. Do you know I was displeased with the chaos that erupted from Vendry as well, and believes that one of the warring Archons may be principally responsible for the civil war that now grips the tiers. As you travel the younger realms, take note of any evidence of negligence, incompetence, or outright treason found within the disfavored or Scarlet Chorus. I mean, shouldn't it say something like, you remember how that lady was like, yeah, thanks to the voices in Herat for helping us out. Shouldn't it say something about that right there too? And investigate the spires. So Lethian's Crossing may be where we head next. Or we could go to one of these places. You're clearly not going places in the World 7. You should take pride in that. It feels like a century since we ran together in Old Azure. You had more hair, and I had all 10 toes, and better balance to boot. I always saw myself as more of a gang boss, but in the end I carved out this cozy little niche for myself. By the time the war is done, we'll be unrecognizable, either lining a mass grave or leading forces from the rear. So what do you need of me? How do you and Verse know each other? She was my gang boss back when we were called the Spitted Darlings. Verse had just come off her other gang, the Bonnie Wastrels, all of them mauled or eaten by beasts in Azure. Of course, you're right. Those weren't easy days, but damned if we didn't walk away with our lives and a few stories to our name. Questions about my first task. Let's say I'm going to the Burning Library, so I can now go to the Burning Library. And I just leveled up. What do I want to level up? I was doing Might, and I think that's probably going to be the best bet. Because I've leveled up Quickness a bunch at this point. Maybe I should put one more point into Quickness. Get it up to 16 with the ring I'm wearing. Yeah, I think I like that. Then I'll do some Might. I need to put Explosive Missile on my bar, and then I think I'm going to get Thrown Mastery 2. I'm never stealthing. And that's critical hits with bows. So yeah. Let's go for that. Alright. Oh, hold on. There's one more thing to loot. The box behind the chair has an Elixir of Quickness and Staggering Burn. So I can either go to the spire in that other place.
Can't do that.
Or I can go to the Burning Library, I believe. Those are all my quests, right? Investigate the spires, find a way to the Lethian's Crossing Spire, and speak with the censor at the Burning Library. Yeah, let's go to the Burning Library. Why not? Seems like it could be fun. I have 5 camping supplies. Oh, you know what? Hold on. There's one other thing I needed to do. I have to come back all the way up here. I need to see if I can convince the Voices of Nerat to let me talk to his quartermaster.
Can't do that.
He may not talk to me again. I'm not sure. You're back. What did you think of our throne? As much as we hate a cold, unmoving chair, this one suits us. Without a spot to plant ourselves, we would pace the length of the old walls every day in our contemplation. Sorry, I'm just trying to get access to the vendor. Oh, maybe I stumbled upon something. I'm gonna need to read here. I asked him something about I asked him about the Scarlet Chorus, and I had the favor with the Scarlet Chorus to unlock this chain. Well, you cannot. Every secret is as precious to us as 1,000 lives, and we will consign you to the interrogators if we find you stealing even a recipe for hardtack. I do not wish to steal your secrets, only learn from your brilliance. Gain favor with him. Have at us, then. You may question us to your heart's content. Show no mercy. Why do you speak of yourself in the plural form? That should be obvious. We are multitudes, an army unto ourselves, a council of shadows babbling to be heard. Well, there was one. Where there was one, now there are many. We are legion, a stream of consciousness given shape, will, and intention. We are the voices of Nerat. Your body in the green flames. Why? We are greater than your confines. No stable form can house our magnificence. No mind could house our intellect. No body could entrap our skill. We are an all-consuming fire, unfixed and resplendent. You are art. Yes, and you are a receptive audience. You will understand us more than many have ever tried or will. Till maybe rise to power. In our youth, we were the youngest scion of the House of Nerat. These would be the early years of Kairos' reign, if numbers make any difference to your fragile matter. The Northern Empire wasn't the bastion of order and peace as we know it today. Our gracious overlord contended with sedition and lawlessness from his subjects, from his enemies, and even from the noble House of Nerat. Whispers spread as whispers do. House Narat never lacked in petty neighbors and bitter rivals. You must remember that these were delicate years for the Overlord. Any accusation of treason was as damning as treason itself. Something had to be done before we fell under the shadow of family's guilt. How did you escape the shadow of guilt? We did what came naturally, of course. We took initiative. Before any accusations could fly, we had our family driven to the city square and pillared among the masses of Kairos unfaithful. Before the shocked eyes of the community, we interrogated them one by one, flaying their skins with tanner knives and putting their loyalties to the test. Father, mother, sisters, aunts, all of them questioned, all of them found guilty. Were they guilty? We don't remember. We remember choosing to survive, and we remember the sound of the skin peeling away from muscle. The rest was formality. It was all a demonstration for the Overlord. This one can be trusted. A message that was gratefully received. Sorry. Our devotion to Kairos was the terror and pride of the community. The son of Narat had grown into something greater than our family name. This, in time, the Archon of Misery heard tell of our deeds and invited us to a better life. House Narat needed to be cleansed. If you truly believe so, you're beginning to think like an Archon. He said the Archon of Misery offered a better life. He took it upon himself to be our instructor. He taught us the beauty of agony, how to slide the knife just so to divide flesh with no mortal wound, how to inflict waking nightmares upon our foes. No more of our clumsy, blood-soaked efforts for spectacle. True torture and sensory performance staged for an audience of one. He made us an artist. We were proficient at our work. Our name spread beyond the boundaries of the child empires. People whispered it in private or shrieked it in fear. Whole galleries were erected to display our accomplishments, which were studied and interpreted by head-scratching scholars. Our talent with the blade, rope, and saw grew so renowned that Kairos faithful and unfaithful alike believed we could steal the truths from their minds with little more than a stare. And in time, life imitated art. Such is the beauty of Kairos' domain, that the remarkable reign over the mediocre, and their talents are recognized, nourished, and perfected. Back to my previous questions. We must concede to your flattery, but we can't boast anything as incredible as power, can we? Through powers, you can't begin to understand. The voices of Narat steals the minds and knowledge of his victims. You know this happened during the campaign against the Tears. What he gains from this ability, beyond his apparent madness, is anyone's guess. You know better than to ask him about it directly. So I probably shouldn't click this button, but I'm going to click this button. Oh, will it not let me? Oh, no, it will. We are full of secrets, and we can't be expected to share them with the adoring masses. We're certain that you have a few of your own and wouldn't want them to be brought to light. But we do have a flatterer, don't we? A kind word here and there is enough to melt the coldest of heart, of which we have several. I'm ready to learn anything if you'll teach me. Teach you? Impudent, ambitious little morsel, our lessons come at a steep price. One day you will come to learn of this in time. Observe the workings of cacophony. Observe our grand design. One day our talents. You hear the voices in your head. Would you follow us to the end of ends and seek your reward for faithful service? There are wonders to behold, Fatebinder, such wonders as you cannot imagine. This you already know. Will be laid bare for you. Let's talk about something else, because that's going to be the end of this episode. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Tell me, what do you think is the Voices of Narat's deal? What do you think his endgame is? Where do you think it all might be going? Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.